So I've been,
I forgot to start recording as usual.
yeah,
So, yeah.
no worry. So I've been thinking about these two questions.
Mhm.
So for numbers, I'm thinking I don't know what the right answer is, but I feel like there are a lot of things in nature that happen in pairs, right? Like
Mhm.
we have pair of eyes, a pair of hands, pair of legs, pair of ears. Then so I think because there's so many things that happen in pairs, maybe that's why we also have the dual thing,
Mhm.
in addition to singular and plural.
Yeah.
But I think in a more philosophical way, I don't know. Again, I was just thinking, is the whole idea of like Shiv Shakti, right? It's
Correct.
like the kinetic potential energy, and out of which comes the creative energy. No,
Mhm.
so if we look at that, also there's a sense of duality.
Mhm.
So I feel maybe that's one of the reasons why Sanskritam has the dual thing in addition to singular and plural.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. So about dual, what you are saying is correct because see what is happening here. That earlier in even in philosophy way or in nature, everything comes in pair.
Right.
Like there is a male and there is a female. So
Yeah.
if there is a pair, then most of the instructions or most of the guidance will be in a dual form. It's very
Okay.
it's the need, right, which
Yeah.
actually created this the second form of the number.
Okay.
Correct. Earlier, nowadays we in our culture or nowadays the world, they either go for like once on a single person thing, or they are going for a group. But then
Hmm.
there is always a team. If you check in the history, even not in the Vedic Kal only, that in Vedic Kal or the nature, the everything created is which we already have discussed, the Shiva and Shakti concept, right? Male
Yeah.
and female concept. If you go for other way, that is going to be Brahma and Jeev concept. There is a
Brahma and what is it?
Jeev, Brahma and Jeev.
Jeev. Okay.
Yeah.
Life
So
forms. Huh?
yes. So
Okay.
there is Brahma and the Jeev is the one who is connected directly to the Brahma, trying to connect to the Brahma, right? So that is
Yeah.
also two things we are talking about, and then we need more knowledge about it. Also in Puran, if you see, there are two persons who are conversing. One person
Hmm.
who is asking question and other one is the answering it. So the
Yeah.
question, the person who wants to know something, and the other person who is explaining or who is giving an answer. So that is also makes a pair,
Hmm.
right? So
Oh yeah.
those all reasons are actually because of them we have this number. Also on the other hand, if we see nowadays there are so many moments, no, so many lifestyles, so many approaches of the how to live a good life and everything. You will see
Yeah.
that there are always two people involved. One
Right.
who is the who thought that this could be a concept and this is the way to live life, right? And then
Yeah.
there is the other one who is not interested in researching or making the path, but he is the one who executing it, implementing it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there,
Okay.
so for example, then there is a Marx and there is a Lenin for
Hmm.
communism, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then there is a Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and then there is a Swami Vivekananda.
Yeah.
Correct. So,
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Paramahansa was a good scholar, and he has that thought and the lifestyle and everything. But the one who took it towards spread it into the world was Swami Vivekananda, not Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Ramakrishna
Right.
Paramahansa prepared Swami Vivekananda, and then Swami
Yeah.
Vivekananda did all the tasks, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that also makes us two. There is always be a thinker and there always be a influencer, and even in home, if you say the family, the very first institution, there is a husband and there is a wife.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
both also need to be on same page for everything. You remember we
Yeah.
were talking that doesn't happen
Yeah.
always, but
Yeah.
but then they have to
Yeah.
be, especially see few lessons like we were talking about that about education, right? So you said that you
Yeah.
and your wife, you both have decided that this is the way your child should be educated and all. You have born
Yeah.
for a certain way, unlike other parents. So now this is also a requirement that two-person who make a team, they need to be together. And okay, this part you can manage, and the other part I will manage, and then we will work like a team. Correct? So husband and
Right.
wife are a team when it comes to the family. The base of it is husband and wife,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they both discuss together and they both make a plan, and then they come up with a solution, and the solution which should work for both of them, and then they will go. So that again one important reason, that everything, even if you go to Ved, no, you learn, you see the mantras, many
Mm.
verses are instructed, or the instructions for both of them, for husband and
Mm.
wife. That's the reason that they have
Okay.
created a word which is called dampati. It's a one word
Yeah.
for husband and wife, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, we you both do these, you both do that. Also, Ram and Lakshman too, Ram and Sita too. They
Yeah.
always discuss about those two, correct? So
Yeah.
always that was the necessity of the dual number. That's the answer.
Mhm.
Okay. And later
Okay.
on, what happened that nowadays things are like working in a plural form in English language, if you say, or in the other language. Over the time, what happened normally that based on our need, we invent something new and we lose something which is not required for us.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
what happened with humankind is over the time they feel that these number it's not necessary. Why it's not necessary? Now, if you see the history, when it comes to husband and wife,
Mm.
husband dominated wife,
Mm.
whatever, and on the other hand, it happened in a reverse way. The
Yeah.
wife. So that become a single person operation and everything. That
Yeah.
even if you are agree or not, what I am doing is correct, so you have to be with me. Then the other person
Yeah.
had no choice but leaving them, or mentally leaving them, or actually, physically leaving them, or whatever. So then one person is living his life, and another is living their life. So they are singular. They are not
Yeah.
dual
They've,
anymore.
they've lost the sense of duality there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So because duality means both will make some compromises to be
Mhm.
together. If you
Yeah.
want to be together, you have to adjust. You both have to adjust. Now that, but what happened that either husband become dominator or the wife. And when it
Mm.
comes to thinker and the person who is implementing the practical, let's say PM or the Rashtrapati, president, that kind of concept. So what happened that there also one person dominated the other. So the other person
Right.
becomes silent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that also created that okay, we don't need anyone. When it comes to communism, we were talking about communism is all about Karl Marx,
Yeah.
right? So or when it comes to Swami Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramahansa, there are many people who only know Swami Vivekananda, but
Yeah.
there is a mass group who thinks that everything, whatever happened because of Swami Vivekananda, but they don't accept this fact that there will be no Swami Vivekananda if there will be no Ramakrishna Paramahansa,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same way, there will be no husband if there will be no wife, or vice versa,
Right.
right? So that's
Yeah.
the nature we have created. When it comes to male and female, also this went too far that everybody focused on boy child and not the girl child, the dark
Hmm.
side of the development of humankind, right? So everybody
Yeah.
have focused that we want a boy child and not the girl child. And what happened that eventually boys dominated everything, and then girls
Yeah.
became lesser in
Yeah.
numbers. So then there is also no necessity. And girls also decided to find out their own way. They become feminists, and then they were fighting for
Yeah.
that, and they left men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then again
Yeah.
there
It
is
is.
no team.
It is very, very clear here in the U.S. It's really sad what's happening, but
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the nature have created two. Imagine
Mm.
that Shiv decide to leave Shakti, what will happen?
Hmm. Yeah.
Right? Or Shakti decide to say, leave Shiv, what will happen then? How will you
Hmm.
exist?
Right. Right.
Right? It's
There will be
not
no
possible.
existence. Yeah.
There is no, so if to be to born for a boy, he needs a woman.
Yeah.
So even for your birth, you are dependent on a woman. And when it comes
Yeah.
to a woman, you can do everything. But without a man, he has his own features, no functions, his own
Yeah.
few things which you cannot. You may live like a man, but you are a woman.
Yeah.
So you need to go to that excellence of being a woman and not pretending to be a man.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Nowadays, what
Yeah.
is happening? Man is pretending to be a woman is pretending to that we can cook,
Yes.
that that
Yes.
we can cook, and yes, we can do the office work. Even we are 8 months pregnant, we can go to the office, we can manage everything. No, that's not what we call equalism. What is
Right. Right.
equality is, if you are a woman, you become women as your own excellence. Why are you trying to be a man?
Yeah.
Correct?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And the
But
same way, why when it comes to
yeah.
men, why are you dominating? Because see, no matter
Yeah.
how much you dominate her, she knows that ultimately you are going to need her.
Mhm.
Because there will be no home if there will be no women. We live because of our mother, because of our wife, because of our sister, because of our daughter. After a
Right.
certain time, we see ourselves in our children.
Yeah.
And a daughter
Yeah.
always become close to the father. And it
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah.
exactly opposite to the father, right? So there are
Mhm.
reasons that this all whole system has been created. So what is happening these days, that you unnecessary, what we say, ruining it, everything, destroying it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So for birth or for living a peaceful or smooth life, you need to maintain the system. Nobody is saying that if you are a woman, you need to stay at home. Nobody did that. Even in Vedic Kal, there are women who fought for their rights
Mm.
and they
Yeah.
won. They were a good
Yeah.
warrior. They were a good knower. There are many women who actually defeated man. So it's not
Yeah.
about that you need to say that all happened because of male or men were insecure. They become insecure that
Mhm.
if women read Ved, then they know their rights. They will know their rights. Then
Mm.
what will happen? That they are going to dominate us. Then they decided, let's not educate them. And
Mm.
eventually it became so darker side that they decided, now we don't want any girl child because we need
Mm.
to give dowry, or we are always
I
people blackmail us and on. Yeah.
yeah. I just want to ask, in Gurukulas, do they teach girls today,
Yes.
or is it just boys?
See, that depend on what kind of Gurukul we are seeing. So there are some Gurukul, uh, they provide education for girls and boys, but most commonly
Mm.
there will be boys only. See, because
Mm.
Brahma Kumari Foundation, there we have women.
Okay.
So it's not like a co-ed. It's like there are few institutions they work for women, and then there are some
Okay.
institution Gurukuls they are working for men.
Okay.
In
Okay.
Gujarat,
So
I
do
am seeing this. Yeah,
do girls also like read the Vedas?
yeah,
I heard in traditional Gurukulas where the boys go, they actually memorize the whole Vedas. Let's say I didn't realize that.
they
They
do.
take
They do that.
10 to 12 years, but then they almost memorize the whole Veda, one Veda at least, you know.
Yes,
So
they do.
do girls also do the same thing? Some Gurukulas?
Yeah, if there are some Gurukuls, they are following the actual system. Then they also
Hmm.
provide girls, and they also know that, but they are very rare.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because traditionally they believe that women should not read Ved. But if that would the thing, then there are so many mantras where
Hmm.
they are direct instructions to the women,
Hmm.
right? So if
Yeah.
women is not eligible to read Ved, then why Ved is communicating directly to her? That
That's
should
right.
be through
Yeah.
men, right? So then there is
Yeah.
a mantra, they say, Istrihi Brahma Babhuvit. You need to be a Brahma. You need to be the creator, not the destroyer.
Hmm.
Because for women,
Hmm.
it's like either they will be creator or they will be destroying everything. and they are
Yeah.
more than that case. They are going to be more cruel than men when it comes to their, if you hurt them on that deep, they will be more cruel. You cannot imagine their cruelty. So then, so where instruct them, you need to be the creator. Strihi Brahma Bhavit. Now, this is exactly the directly a conversation or the directly instruction to a women. So that wasn't possible. And then there are some Rishikas who has seen mantras, witnessed. That is
Yeah.
also not possible. If Ishwar or the actual system don't want women to read Ved, then why would they will see the mantras?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then
Yeah.
there are so many things, so many even in history. Sita educated, Sita questioned, and Sita has did all the debate. Also, Ansuya was the one who taught Sita what is Sattva Dharma, how women should be lawfully and loyal to her husband, and what power this satitva has. So that is also not possible if Ansuya was not literate.
Yeah.
And there are
Yeah.
so many things. But nowadays, Gurukula, like so many times, so many years, everybody was so focused because what happened normally, if you have a home, if a man is the main lead, no, he is managing the household and he is
Yeah.
actually not managing, he is making money, then he feel that if dharma is not the controller, the top controller, the top controller will be earth, finance. Okay. So whoever is making money think that I am the most powerful one because money gives power. So, and your dharma is not controlling your earth. So what is happening? That the other person who are at home, they are under a what we say, a kind of arajakta or a kind of someone who is not capable enough to take care of their rights and their needs, because he is thinking I am the one who is having all the power and I can decide. So that's the reason that so many fathers, they they want to decide everything.
Right.
That okay, you need to go to that school, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and they think that the wife should follow their steps. And if they are saying okay, sit, then sit, and and whatever, behave
Yeah.
like a puppet, right? And because they think that we are power, if we are making money, we have all the right to control your life. But if Dharma is a top controller, then they know that we cannot control them. It's not, we are only making money because it is our responsibility. So
Yeah.
if we want a family, we need to do our part. They will going to do their part, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that all the reason that eventually what happened, the divorce rate is why we have these days so many divorce and cases and all, because we have a lack of understanding. We are born and brought up in an environment where we feel like I or me, not us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the when the dual concept, the dual number teach the concept of us or we too, right? So if
Yeah.
initially if the Brahm and the Param Brahm have created Brahm, so let's say Brahm decide to refuse all the
Yeah.
responsibility which Param Brahm has given. It was choice because Param Brahm has given choices to everyone. So there
Yeah.
are two choices always. We
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah.
with this or we want to go with that. This is up
Right.
to us always. But
Yeah.
once we decide to go with something and we take our action, then you cannot change the result. That is what we call karma siddhant. So
Right.
what
Yeah.
happened here is when there is a one person who asks something, then there is another person who has this choice whether to go with it or not. If they decide to go with it, they need to make some adjustment. And that
Right.
adjustment is the thing. They think that if we are making some adjustment, our dignity or our existence will compromise, which is entirely a, a misunderstanding, misconception. Because you cannot see, every person is unique. So if I have a like 100 members in my family, or we are five, we are five siblings. Each
Yeah.
of us is different. is unique. They have, we all have got the same born and brought up and upbringing and everything, but we all five have our own choices, because, and we all have chosen our own path. So we have become some entirely different person. We have our different strength, which is entirely different from one another. So that is the reason that we feel we are not confident, we become insecure, and then we dominate the other person whenever we can.
Yeah.
It's not about
Yeah.
men or women, right? So and when the moment we decide that, and then what happened, that people decide not to get married, that was also a long phase. That is also given the same results, right? Nowadays marriage are established since 2016. I am seeing that there is a trend here in India that people want to get married. Earlier it was like, I want to be single, I want to make money, I want to be, and I don't need any marriage. Women think like that because marriages needs lots of responsibility and all, and I don't want to take this responsibility. So,
Yeah.
but then they faces some really ugly consequences for their choices. So they decided to be with someone, and then they decided to make some adjustment. So now again it is happening, and then again the family construction and everything people are accepting. So this is all now. People are improving, but this what happened normally, that we learn from our experience. We make mistakes and we learn from our experience. So humankind is the same. We make mistakes, huge mistakes. 100 years over, we learn from those mistakes, because what we are choosing, our children are going to face, or next generation are going to face. Then
Right.
we don't want it to happen with our children, what happened with us. So we teach them not to do the same mistake. They do their
Right.
own mistake. So then eventually
Yeah.
that we learn in 100 years, when we see two generation, then the third generation will decide to accept something they have left, right? So that become a
Yeah.
long discussion about dual.
No,
That
it's good. Yeah.
so that is the reason that we have a dual concept, a dual number
Okay.
in scriptures, Vedic scripture.
Yeah, everything has such deep meaning, Sanskrit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
good.
Now the second question: why the
Yeah.
three gender? Why not two?
Yeah, that was the one I couldn't really find a definitive answer. So the best I could come up with is uh well, I read that there are some things where you can apply like masculine and feminine
Mm-hmm,
thing. Like for example, for trees, right?
mm-hmm,
I don't know if for trees you can apply a masculine or a feminine thing. So there are things in nature where it's neither masculine nor feminine kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
So that's why we have a neutral gender. And
Yes.
another one, I read it an article, but again, I don't know if it is true or not. But they said it depends on the three gunas, right? So I think we have the tamasic, rajasic, and sattva gunas. So
Mm-hmm.
they said based on the gunas that we have, the gender will manifest itself. And-
Yeah. So it is quite related to our previous question. See, we have
Okay.
a male and female,
Mhm.
ideally. Then we have a Nirakar Brahm. Okay. So Nirakar Brahm is something which we cannot categorize under male or female,
Okay.
because
Okay.
Brahm is Nirakar,
Yeah.
correct? That is
Is it
primary reason.
Nirakar means without attributes, right?
No farm,
No
and
form.
no
Okay.
physical farm. You
What is
cannot.
Nirgun?
Mhm.
Nirakar is no form. Then the other thing is
See,
Nirguna, right?
Akar is the
Nirguna.
shape, okay? Akar is a shape. The that the squarey or the ovally or the other. These all called Akar in Sanskrit. When we say
Okay.
Nirakar, means we cannot say that this is the length and this is the height and this is the So
Yeah.
that's something. And when we say Nirgun, so now gun
Yeah.
are something which makes us human, or
Right.
which lead to do something, no, which leads us emotions and all.
Yeah.
So those gunas are they are inside us as a human being. But what has happened, that
Yeah.
there is another entity which has no guna. Like there is no sukh or
Mhm.
no dukh or no lalach and no all the things we have in inside us,
Okay.
emotions and all. right? So
Yeah.
that makes us human, and that doesn't make it good. So we are sagun, we have a good inside us, but he doesn't have any,
Mm.
even though he created us all. So
Yeah.
that's the reason that we call it nirgun. In if you see the if you ever go through the Hindi Bhasha Shastra, the Hindi language history. So
Yeah.
there is in the 50th, 60th century, there were two
Mhm.
type of thought. One
Mm.
was Sagun and another one was Nirgun. Kabir was the one who was a leader for Nirgun.
Okay.
Okay. And then there is Meera and Goswami Tulsidas. They are those one who leads to the Sagun. So Tulsidas was about Bhagwan Ram, Meera was about Bhagwan Krishna. So they,
Okay. Okay.
right? So Bhagwan Ram
Yeah.
and Bhagwan Krishna are a Sakar form. They have their good, right? So if you see
Mm.
the Sukh and Dukh and everything, they were human. And then they
Yeah.
become, they did their journey and they did all the changes and everything. So the whole concept there was the avatar system was to, if you are a human, you can do all of these things. You can make this world better, no matter how
Mm.
bad circumstances you have. Because if you
Yeah.
see, Bhagwan Ram was a prince, Bhagwan Krishna was a also was a prince, but he born and brought up in he born in a jail, and he brought up
Yeah.
in a small town, and he wasn't able to see his parent when he became, sort of, young teen,
Yeah.
right? So then
Yeah.
he had so many bad things, because before his death he has seen everybody die,
Mm.
including his
Mm.
all the families, right? So
Yeah.
then he got really, really bad things happen in his life. But then, if you see that the person Bhagwan Krishna was, he was all charming, all happy.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
was able to teach Arjun Gita Gyan, which is required for all of us. No, so the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
how he developed or evolved himself to be Krishna. That is his
Mm.
Krishnatva, right?
Okay.
To be
Okay.
nothing
Yeah.
and to be everything.
Mm.
From a small town guy, from a small town teen who faced uh, since birth, who faced problems since his birth. But he never thought that I am unlucky and I am this and that, and everybody, criticized him. But then over the
Yeah.
time, he has got some certain people or team. They never stayed with him, but then he eventually evolved himself as a person that everybody asked his guidance,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
those people, they have faced problems, but they were nothing compared to what Bhagwan Krishna has faced in his life. That
Yeah.
becomes Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Krishna. Then that's the same for Bhagwan Ram. And then when it comes
Okay.
to Nirgun, Nirgun is something where Ishwar is complete. He has
Mm.
created everything. So for Ishwar, it is like Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Shishyate. You will see some uh, vichitra things, you know, something
Mm.
which is hard to believe. But that's all true about Ishwar. So that
Mm.
is Nirgun.
Okay.
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 If you see Kathopanishad, especially Kenopnishad, it defines that who Ishwar is, who has created this Prakash, who
Mm.
has give us life, who created, we live because we have Pran. But the one who created Pran is the Ishwar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So those all the capabilities we have inside, he is the one who has created it all. That makes
Mm.
it Nirgun.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was one reason. Also, we never accepted it, but it existed from the very beginning. That there is a male and there is a female and there is a Napunsakling also. People
Mm.
who by birth neither male or female,
Mm.
they cannot categorize themselves as a male or female, because they have different choices. They have different, physical, what we say, uh,
The
presence.
anatomy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So their choices, and then we accept the Vedic concept, accept their existence, and they give them a category. So it's not
Mm.
that either you need to be a male or you need to be a female. It's not like that.
Hmm.
There are
Hmm.
other you accept or not, because what has happened that we have so many misconceptions. We think either there is a male or female, but there are also transgenders. No, there are also
Yeah.
people, and they have their own emotions. They have their own. Now we accepted it because of Supreme Court and given, and cases become so many. Then we
Yeah.
otherwise it was in society it was like a disease, that it's a mental
Hmm.
problem. It's not. There are people who have no choice. Like there is a male who has straight or their choices. There is a female who has straight choices. But then there is a person who has stuck between these things.
Hmm.
He cannot choose to go here or there. So for that, we uh, what we say, we have a respect. We don't humiliate them or defame
Hmm.
them. We Vedic in Vedic scripture, you will see that there are also kinder, no. Uh, in Puran, they also mention Dev, Gandharv, and Kinnar.
Hmm.
So they say they have this
Yeah.
word always. So they never defame them. They just group them. Like
Okay.
nowadays, in a form we have another section, male, female, and then other section. So
Hmm.
you will not be humiliated, and you can openly accept that this is what I am, and nobody
Right.
will question, or nobody will say, okay, you need to go to see the doctor and all, and this and that. This is all insecurities, whatever happening in society, which is very, 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 very bad. But yes, when it comes to Vedic scriptures, we have these three: male,
Yeah.
female,
Yeah.
and Napusakling.
Okay.
And if you
Okay.
see in Shastra, okay, the meeting will end. We have to rejoin it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So it's like they always uh, in Puran and all, they always have a person who with ladies or with the women, a friend of women, right? So
Yeah.
and they have got their own status in society. So we never
Hmm.
ever defame anybody when it comes to Vedic scriptures or Vedic system of life, because these are the reality.
Hmm.
Whatever
Hmm.
nature has created, it is beautiful. You don't need to just hide those facts because you are ashamed of things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you are insecure, right? So that's the
Right.
reason that we have these three genders
Okay.
primarily.
Okay.
Also,
Oh.
that the thing that tree and all, yes,